there's the problem. Airbag warning light. So we've got to fix it in order to get the car inspected. So let's fix it. Now, for airbag warning light, basically there's one of three basic possibilities. One possibility is that the clock spring is bad, which is mounted inside the steering wheel and is a relative pain in the butt to get at and replace. But it is a common failure point, and the troubleshooting steps that most backyard mechanics recommend would be to check to see if there's something other than the airbag warning light that is not working on the steering column, and that would point to a likely clock spring culprit. In this particular case, there is nothing else broken or not working on the steering column. For the airbag warning light, I don't think it's necessary to go through those steps. And the next likely culprit is actually the light bulb on this passenger airbag module, the on-off switch. So, and of course the third is that there could be a wiring issue between either the clock spring, the dashboard, and this passenger airbag bypass unit, or what have you. My money is on the light bulb inside this unit being bad. It is not something that you can simply pop out of a socket and replace. Unfortunately, it is soldered into a PCB board, and my money is on that light bulb being out as the problem. So we're going to verify that and by removing this thing, and if we're correct, then we will replace the bulb. We will not replace the whole unit, save ourselves a little bit of money. So the first step is to get this out, which is very easily done on Jeep TJ. So pop the module out of its little hold, and then we need to take the connector off. There is a little red tab here. Pull the tab out and pop the wire off. And so now that we've got the unit off, we're going to take it inside to the workbench and disassemble it further so we can get access to this suspected bad bulb. So since it's daylight out, I have a few other things to do. So the magic of television, you are going to see me adjourn to the workbench, but it will actually be several hours later. So see you in a bit. Bye. Okay, a second for you, and 3 hours later for me. We are here to see about a light bulb. Is it blown or isn't it? My money is on it being blown. Try and keep this all in the field of the camera. I'm not super duper car Jeep repair guy like Eric O from South Main Auto, or Eric the car guy, the two Erics, both of whom have excellent car channels. And so I'll do my best, but not professional grade, so to speak, like they are. So there's the light port, and we're after the light bulb that shines into that port. So we need to take the back of this off, and it looks like it's just some tabs. Just checking on the camera position. Am I good? There's a couple of tabs on the side here. Okay, that side's up. Those are the tabs I'm referring to. Come on. Let go. You can do it. I know you can do it. Okay, so inner workings here. That spring is the plunger for when you throw the switch for the passenger bypass. So you put the car key in, you push it in, turn it on, turn it off, and that spring is what provides pressure. I don't know if there's enough light, but you can see that there is a little piece of copper standing up here, and that's how that switch is activated. But that's not really what we're here for. Oh, there's the back of the PC board, so we know we're getting close. Oh, I missed it. Where are you? There's the light bulb. Let me take a look at it. I believe, well, it's certainly dark, which suggests, oh, it's definitely blown. That sucker is definitely toast. So, we don't even have to put a meter on this one, because we can see the filament is separated with a little bit of magnification. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll try. Can you see that? Let me try and zoom in here with this camera. There we go. There may be too much glare. You may not be able to see it. But that filament, she be gone. So we need to remove that bulb and replace it with a good bulb. And so we're gonna see what we can do about that. All right, so let me put the camera back down. Magnifying light out of the way. Reposition the camera, make sure that I haven't lost you guys. It seems like that's okay. And so now, let's see here. There are two plastic pins. Oh, look at that, it slides right out. Let's bring you back. So that light bulb is hardwired into this printed circuit board, otherwise known as a PCB board. See, PCB, printed circuit board, PCB, that's what it is. So we need to desolder that and replace it with another light bulb, which I purchased from Amazon. But unfortunately, with most electronic components these days, you can't just buy one. So I had to buy 10. I think it was 10. We'll find out in a second. So I'm going to have 9 extra bulbs after this is all said and done for the parts kit, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but if I had my druthers, I would have rather only gotten 1 or maybe 2. Now these bulbs are a different size, but they are rated for 12 volts at I believe 0.62 watts. Where's the rating? Oh, that's nice. The box doesn't say what the rating is. It just says 10 lamps. That's really useful. I guess they just assumed that you knew what you were doing when you ordered them. And there is absolutely no rating, but there's a number. And there's the description. So I am going to replace the old light with one of these. So that means that I didn't get 10, I wound up getting 20. Oh, that's wonderful. Anybody need a lamp? So what I am going to do is I'm going to remove the old lamp and install one of these new lamps, and I'm going to try and position it so that the lamp filament is positioned very similarly to what the old lamp is. So the old lamp, the filament is about, can you see that? Filament is, where am I here? There we are. Filament is about like that. So at the end of the day, that's where I want the lamp to be oriented. And so we're going to take these leads. You may want to put some insulation around those leads because they're going to be a little bit on the long side. And I want to bend them there. So we're just going to ease over those leads where they're going to go into the printed circuit board. Let's confirm that I bent them in the correct place. Yeah, looks right. And so, what am I going to do about these extra long leads? What can I insulate these with? I don't have a lot of little small gauge wire lying around. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop the video while I look for something to insulate these leads with. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, so I found an old power supply of some kind. I don't know from what, in my little junk box. And so I cut that up and I stripped some wire. So now I've got insulation to put over these leads so that there isn't anything tragic happening once I button this all back up. Now these leads might get a little hot and that might melt a bit, but that's okay. Not worried. So let's see if I've still got my length here that I want, and I'd say the answer is yes. So now I've got to get busy taking this lamp off. And there are two basic desoldering methods. One is to use a device which basically provides for some suction so that you can suck the solder out. That's the preferred method because it doesn't use as much heat. And where's my solder sucker? So I can show you. Where the hell did it go? Where did my solder sucker go? Well, my solder sucker seems to have walked away. It knew I was going to be using it tonight, so it decided that it would make itself scarce. I don't see it lying around anywhere. It's kind of curious. I don't use that thing very much. So what I've just done is I just heated up those two pads, and just to remove the old lamp, and I was going to use the solder sucker to grab the excess, but the solder sucker's gone missing. So we're going to use some solder wick instead, which is another method of solder removal. This method, not as, I guess, preferred, and this is just by me, these are all my opinions, whatever the industry standards are for desoldering, I have no freaking clue, and I really honestly don't care. But you got to be careful with solder wick because it uses a lot of heat, and by using a lot of heat you can damage the pads on the PCB board if you're not careful. I'm going to zoom in here just to see if you guys can see a little bit better what I'm going to be doing here. Come on. No, it doesn't look like it's focusing. No, maybe. Alright, that's max magnification. If I don't bump anything, you should be able to see this, provided nothing moves. So here's my solder wick. I have a very thin gauge solder wick for this job. And I'm going to place the solder wick in between the solder pad and the soldering iron. And heat up the solder, and the solder wick will absorb the excess solder, and it did. And we'll do the same for the other side, for the other pad. And there it goes. I don't know if you can see it being absorbed, but it is being absorbed by the solder wick. And now I've got two clear pads to use for the lamp. So now, where's our orientation here? So we want the lamp to go like this. There is no polar orientation that we have to worry about, positive versus negative. We just have to, oh, is it like that? Oh, it was like this. Yeah, that's the way it was. And it was a little bit above the board, so we'll allow for that as well. Bend the leads over so that they don't move around all that much. See if that'll hold it in place long enough for me to solder. And that looks good for what we're doing. We're not launching shuttlecraft into outer space, so it doesn't need to be super precise. I like that orientation. And now we just have a little bit of solder, not much, no need to do a lot. Oh, you suck. Come on, come back. All right. Stay. Still not happy with that because there's... There. Stay. Good dog. Good dog. And let's make sure this is like that. And that's like that. And it's the old bulb. This went like that. Yeah. Close enough for Jeep work. And again, let's do a little solder. You don't need much of the soldering iron. Wait for the solder to run. And before I clip the leads, I don't know how much of that was actually captured since I had it so close in. Apologies if it didn't. Maybe I'll edit something out if I missed it completely. But that's the net result. Resoldered, new lamp. That's what it looks like with the wire insulation that I put in there. And this thing's ready to reassemble and test. Now, right now it's raining. It's almost, well, it's after 8. It's dark. So we're not going to try this tonight, even though I'm tempted to. We're going to wait till tomorrow to test it, to reinstall it inside the Jeep. But that's it. And if I've purchased the right lamps, they won't burn out, or it won't burn out, I should say. I'm just trimming off the excess leads, making sure everything is nice and as flush as possible to the PC board. A little bit of excess there. And that's all she wrote. So this slid in, right? Yes, right. Like that. And then this goes like this. Make sure that there's a little post in there. Oh, this should be fun. Does it come out? It does come out. So we'll manually put the spring back on this post inside here. And then insert it like so. And I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but that lamp looks like it is perfectly oriented inside that tube. Will it focus? Come on, focus. Come on, you can do it. Nope. It won't focus in that close, which is a shame. But trust me, down in the bottom of that hole, the lamp is oriented correctly and properly, and it looks copacetic. So, to be honest with you, we really don't care about that. What we really care about is the fact that the The lamp completes the circuit and the warning light goes away so that we can take this back to inspection. And and get a new sticker. So this thing only goes back together one way. You've got a little outline for where the lamp indicator is, and obviously that center circle is for the key actuator. And then we put these sheet metal screws back in, or plastic screws. They look like sheet metal screws. It's all factory original stuff as far as I'm aware. And screw this back together. And one more. Torque to spec, as Eric O likes to say, South Main Auto, and there it is, back together. So hopefully when we get this back into the car, our warning light will be off, this will be illuminated when it's on, and whether it is or it isn't, I don't care, as long as the warning light is off. And we'll call that mission accomplished. So, anybody need any lamps? I got plenty. Like, plenty. Good and plenty. And those again are 12 volt and I believe 0.62 watt lamps, if I recall correctly. And I purchased them from Amazon. Alright guys, the next time you see me will probably be the next day when we reinstall this sucker and see if we have mission accomplished or not. I will see you then. Bye. Alrighty then. It's time for us to take this, reconnect it, and see if this solves our problem, which I think it does. So let's reconnect. Push in firmly, push that cute little red tab in, and push that down like so. And it's reinstalled. Hooray for us. Now we've got to put it to the test. Let me go around the other side. Do I need the doors closed for this? I don't know. You go. Insert key. And oh, it went out. Did you see that? Let's do that one more time just to make sure I got the shot. Key in. Airbag warning light goes off. Da 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 da. And now let's see if the passenger airbag light turns on. Oh, do you see that? Off is illuminated. Who's your daddy? Not bad for a backyard mechanic who most of the time doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Okay, so that's it. This car is now ready to go get inspected, of which it's badly past due. So very happy about that, and hopefully this video has helped others. I guess I have to do the disclaimers here, to say that I'm not a mechanic. I'm a backyard do-it-yourselfer, and if you follow what I've done, you do so at your own risk. Don't come crying to me if your car burns up or whatever, because this repair was incorrect, because it's not my fault, not my responsibility. The responsibility is all yours if you decide to copy this. Good luck, and see you later.